with this, I have the immense pleasure of introducing Afzal, who is our trainer for today. And he's going to talk about his topic. I will leave that on to him. But just a quick introduction that he's the ICT director for NIMS Group, and he's a certified trainer and innovator. And I will, of course, request him to talk about what his journey has been like. He is also the leader for a GEG, and he's also a learn captain for another GEG. So it's not just one GEG that he caters to. He's in between two GEGs and supporting them really well, and also school innovation ambassador for Ministry of Education, Government of India. So a big round of applause for bringing this to us, Afzal sir. Over to you, your session. We look forward to learning from you. And for all the participants, keep adding your queries in the chat box. We'll try and answer them during the sessions, or later. Afzal sir will try and answer those for all of us.
Thank you, Sonia, Vipa, and the team. It's wonderful for me to have such a big audience in front of me and take such an important session, and the first session of a big series. And I am a little bit anxious as well as excited for this opportunity. Thank you for that. And good evening, everyone. Let's start with this wonderful tool that Google has brought into Google Workspace. And smart chips are there for some time, and most of us might have already started using it, but might have wondered what the other tools are when we are going at and typing @ every time something pops up. And that's this wonderful tool called smart chips. So let's explore what this @ has got it in its magic with us in Google Docs. So let me share my screen. Okay, so I have just opened a Google Doc, a plain Google Doc, and you can see that if you go to that insert, you can see the smart chips option. Or for easiness, you can just type @ in your computer, and you will see and you will start to see these options which are what we are going to discuss today. So the first one is date, and then you can see drop down, stopwatch, timer, task, variable, voting chip, placeholder. It's a wonderful array of options that we are having with this smart chips. So let's explore one by one. Okay, so I am just typing @ and see what date has to offer. So when I click on @ and select date, I have the calendar in front of me, and I can select any date from this calendar, and that gets added to my document. Okay, if you want to add a time specifically, yes, that's also possible, like 10:45, and you can also add a time zone. And this time zone is a wonderful thing when you are working across the country or across the globe for some tasks which you collaborate with someone, and you want your time to be matching with the other person. So you can always select a time, and that time gets reflected in the document. So again, I'm going here, going to smart chips, date, I'm selecting a date, and I can click OK. And if I do @ and say tomorrow, that's a shortcut for tomorrow's date, and that component gets added. And your colleague who is working can also, if it's collaborated, can also edit the same document and can fill in that that plays with the new date format. And you can directly go and do a book meeting from this element, which will open up a another window where you can set up a meeting or an event from this time smart chip. Moving on to the next, going to insert smart chips and people. Now people is another wonderful option. Let me select VIPA, and once I click VIPA, all the contact details that I am having in my contact book gets displayed along with the contact email address. So I can directly email Vipha from this smart chip, or I can add an event along with her in a meeting, or I can also do a send a message, a quick message, or directly go for a video call if it allows. And you can also see other details available about that contact from my address book. And if I am having a phone number, I can directly call her directly from this element. So all these options are now embedded in this magic block. I would like to call it magic block rather than a smart chip. Anyway, this is how people are added. And if you have multiple contacts, yes, you can add those, and all of them gets added into the document. And another wonderful thing is when you add a person, and a suggestion will automatically come asking whether the document has to be shared with this person so that they can also collaborate with this document. Okay, moving on to file. So once we select file, we can see all the documents that are there in our Google Drive, which can be added into this document. Now this is a feature that I have personally felt missing in Google Docs, because we have been working with many word processing softwares which are very popular, and we could see that there was this embed feature where we can embed presentations or other documents into the main document, and that can be shared. But when it came to Google Docs, we many times felt that we had to actually add that document first into Google Drive and then copy that link and put it into the document, and there was no direct option to embed that document or feel like it is embedded in the document. Here also it is not getting embedded, but the reference is getting added, and it works as if it is embedded, and you can click and you can directly open the document. So this lesson plan I have just added, it will get added or will be referred, and if I click here, I can open that document in another browser. Okay, so that's how we can insert a smart chip file into our Google Doc. Now going to the calendar event. See, I have one calendar event in my calendar set. If you can see here on the right side, for the next week, I'm having one calendar event. A PTM is set at 10 a.m. So when I go ahead and insert this smart chips calendar event, all the calendar events, I only have one right now, that's why you see one calendar event here. If I am having 5 or 10, all of them will get listed over here, and I can select that, and that calendar event gets connected to my Google Doc. And if I click again, this is a dynamic link, and you can directly click and open that event into a browser window, and you can always edit and make changes, and those changes will get reflected in the main document. So it's as if you have embedded that calendar event into this Google Doc. Now going for the next one is voting chip. This is amazing. Like, we are all in a way addicted to social media, and Instagram have put us in this like and heart mode for voting and all. So what if we could do the same with some suggestions, like I am typing holiday ideas with my colleagues. I have shared this document and I am saying holiday ideas, and let's say going to Manali or Ooty or Bali, and then I can put this element along with it. So insert smart chip, voting chip. Against each one, I can actually add it. Okay, Bali also. The good thing is you can only click once. Like you cannot give two votes. You can give one vote, but here it's like if you want to choose all the three, okay. But then you can look at which one got the most votes. So this way, you can share this document to the collaborators, and they can actually vote on this, and that voting can be seen by everyone, and you can take a decision on that. So this voting chip is an amazing tool that Google Docs have in its smart chips arena. Going ahead, insert smart chips. The next one is stopwatch. Now think of a situation where you are in a classroom and you are presenting, and you want an activity to be done for say 3 minutes, and you have this projection in a screen or a projector in the class, and you want the students to see the time ticking. So you can actually use this tool where you can say that, okay, let's see who answers or who completes first, and you can just start the timer, and the timer will be running in the screen, so that the students can work, or the people can look at it and can understand the time that's going on. And you can always pause, and you can also restart. Similarly, if it's a countdown that you are looking at, yes, we have got that also. So the next one is a timer, where we can put a timer into it. Say, I want only 3 minutes. Okay, then I can play, and now everyone can see the timer going back 3 minutes, and once that time reaches, it will actually beep, so that everyone will get to know that the time has reached. Now let's go to the next option, which is variables. This is an amazing option that has come in. Variables has nothing to do with programming. So, oh, it's a variable. Don't worry. It's nothing to do with programming. It's a very simple concept. I have just created two variables. I will just create one new so that you can understand what it means. So let's go and say that I need a variable called child name, and I am creating it. Okay, so this variable has been placed here, and there is no value relating to that. Just for the easiness, I have made a story here, a storyline, where child 1 and child 2, I am preparing that storyline like the first child and the second child were best friends who lived next door to each other. Now, to add a character name, I can just click here or here. Both sides are the same. I can say that it is Manu, and the second child is Sagar. Now you can see everywhere where child 1 was mentioned, Manu got replaced, and where child 2 was mentioned, Sagar got replaced. So this can be part of an activity where you can give a situation to students or can give a brief of the story, and they can bring in, or they can make out a story out of it, where the character 1 and character 2 can be named by the child. Or you can also say that this is a some kind of other activity where the placeholders name can be replaced, or name or anything, any place or any value can be replaced, and wherever that value is referenced, when you replace it, it gets reflected everywhere where that reference was mentioned. So this is the variable feature that has been added to Google Docs. Now there is something called placeholder chips. Say, when you select date, the date calendar appears at that time itself. So you are forced to select one date. Now there is no other option than selecting a date. Okay. But if what if you just want to make a template or some kind of a document where your colleagues need to fill in that part? In that case, what you can do is you can go ahead and click on insert and go to smart chip and placeholders. You can select date. So instead of a date, fixed date, the date placeholder will come into play, and anyone, you or your colleague or a collaborator who is working on the document, can click on this and select or put a date in that place. Okay, so this placeholder is wonderful when you are making a template where the date, wherever the date has to be mentioned, you can just put this placeholder, smart chip placeholder chip, and can mention date. Similar is what the person and the other options are there. Insert placeholder, and if you go to person, then the person is just mentioned. You click here, and then all the contact people in your contacts will get listed, and you can select people from there. So this is same for place, calendar event, and all these things. And let's just click on what place means. Okay, place, if you put the option comes in where you can select it from Google Maps. So I am just saying Kerala. So I'm trying to type my hometown, but something, I think some restrictions are there by which the location is not loading. Otherwise it would give a Google Map link instead of this place. Okay, so going ahead, the next thing is building blocks. Now this is something amazing, which is far better, or even a feature that very most other word processing tools are missing. So if you go to insert and building blocks, you can see there is meeting notes, email drafts, and all these. So let's go one by one. What is meeting note? So I click on meeting note, and see, from my calendar, this PTM calendar event has popped up, and I click here, and then I can write the minutes of the meeting for that event directly from which is connected to that event. So I can say that we need to discuss about children's attendance, then the final exams, then JE or NEET. Okay, and then you can also put action items, book the hall, So all these action items can be added. Now you can also attach notes to your calendar. So if I attach, this event gets attached to my calendar event. Now once I have done this exercise, one big thing that I missed, call all parents, otherwise the whole event will not be of any use. Okay, from here itself I am having this email meeting notes option. So if I click here, an email draft will pop up. I think you cannot see that because I have shared only that browser window, only browser tab only, but an email window has popped up where all these matter is already entered, and I just have to enter the parent names and I can directly email from there. Or if I have to send it to my colleagues, the other teachers directly, that can also be done. So looking at the next option, building blocks, email drafts. This is another thing that was a great option that has been added, because if you look at any of Google's offerings, Google Workspace offerings, all of them had this option to collaborate or share with others. But emails, that is Gmail, never had an option where we can collaborate with another person on writing or composing an email, right? What we used to do is we will send a mail to them as a draft, and then they will make a change or something, or we will make that email into a Google Doc, and then we will circulate in between our colleagues, or let them collaborate and make a document, and then we will copy it, and then we will email it to the people who has to get that email. But the real collaboration part was missing. So with this building block, what Google has done is they have brought in a collaborative email option right into Google Docs. So if I put this email draft building block into Google Doc, what we can do is, if I share it with my colleagues, okay, like Vibha, I am sharing this document. Now Vibha and me can collaboratively edit this email template and say, dear parent, it's the time of the year for PTM. Okay, so here we both can edit and make the material ready for the parent, and we can also incorporate other smart components inside this also. So I can say insert and then go for smart chips, date, and I can say that we have planned it for, and then the date came in. Now we will be having someone who is a very famous person with us. So just I'm putting this placeholder and person whose name will come here as our chief guest. Okay, so once I have prepared and is ready, and I can also add whoever I want in this email to be copied, then I can send it to put my parents' email address, and then I can click on preview in Gmail, and believe me, a Gmail actually opened up and I can directly send from there. So all the these dynamic components like the date and all directly started appearing in that email as a normal text.
Afzal sir, I'm so sorry for interrupting. Will it be okay if you share your whole screen? We'll be able to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the
yeah.
particulars.
I was thinking the same way.
Yeah, please go ahead. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'll let you know if there's anything wrong.
Okay, so you can see, let me add time also, so that the dynamic component will also come into play. Add time, and then I will say that it's at 1:30 p.m. Time zone is India. Last time I was looking for Indian time. Okay, so it's 5:30 India time. 5:30 India Standard Time. Add time zone also. Okay, so my time has been entered. Now if I click on the preview Gmail, see, the Gmail popped up. Here you can see the all the people who I had already entered into CC and BCC. Everything is set, and dear parent, it's a time of the year and we have planned. See, the date has come in as a text. Okay, and we will be having this person. Now the person name is not here, so I will just select someone. Let Vipha be there. Okay, thank you Vipha for coming for the event. Now let me open the doc again. Okay, so Vibha's name came in that person's field. Also her email address is reflecting here. So that's how the email building block works. Now if we go to the next element, which is calendar event draft, it's again an option where we can collaboratively make a calendar event. So PTM follow up. So guest, myself, and Vibha, and one more person. Let it be that. Okay. Then the start time is 1 week after the event. Okay. And the place. Let this also be the same. Okay. Okay. Place is. I think something wrong with my browser setting, so that the place is not working. Some restrictions is there. Uh, Follow up on the PTM decisions. Okay, so once I have prepared this, maybe my colleagues or collaborators can also give their suggestions into this. I can click here and it will open in the calendar view. Okay, so in calendar, the follow-up decisions came in, and the guest names are already mentioned, and all those things get reflected here. And if I put some changes over here and save it, don't send, continue editing, instead I just close it, leave. Okay, the document is now connected, and if you click here you will directly open that calendar event which is in our calendar. Okay, now going to the next building block, which is code block. Now to write, many times we have felt like when we are putting a code, a block of code for computer science or ICT or some programming, we have found that the Google or the word processor actually processes it, or gives suggestions like this is a spelling mistake and our variable names are not okay, and their positions are being manipulated, and the code never works after that. Okay, if you try to copy back, most of the times the code fails. So the easy solution for this problem is what code block has brought in. So you can select any of these actually. If it's C++ or Java, JavaScript and Python, it will actually give color coding along with it. So I just had already copied a small code, and I had put Python into it. So this code is now Python specific. If I select any other like Java, it found that import is there in Java, but today and print are not there in the Java's keywords. So if I select Python, okay, you can see that import and print are in the keywords list of Python, and it gets another color. And also it doesn't play with the positioning or the or the whatever the variable names and all. There is no suggestion whether it's correct or wrong. So the code remains very simple and unmanipulated, so that you can directly copy it from here and run it, and nothing happens, and the code works very well, and nothing bad happens to the whole program. So this way, this new building block called uh, coding code block has made the life of all the computer teachers very easy. Now, if you are into business or has got this idea of how the many projects works, the next set of tools are for them. Okay, so let me just insert one component from here. Yes, in building blocks, if you are having a product launch, the product launch can be anything, like an event being planned, or a school building being built, and you need to have a lot of things properly planned. Then you can directly use this building block called product roadmap, where you can say that this is like initial draft design, and you can say it's in which status it is. Now this component is available with us, so where we can select either any of these, or we can also add other options, like we can also say that in discussion, or submitted for approval, or like say waiting for approval, say apply to all, and then we can actually select one from here, or we can directly go and say the new component that we have added. And we are free to move or delete components if you don't need. Like I can just remove it, I can resize it, and all those things works. So this is a ready-made component, like a template that is available, which is very useful for product launch and things like that. Now, similarly, review tracker, where if you are having 4 people working on a similar event, and you have given tasks for each person, and you want to know where they stand in that task, okay, you can actually go ahead and make this fill in this tracker, so that everyone comes to know where each person is right now, and you can help them if they want any help, and the event can be tracked properly. Now, project asset is something like you have got a function coming up, and you have a lot of files to be like an inspection coming up, like the CBSE or some government officials are coming to visit your schools, and there are a lot of files which have to be in place. So what you can do is you can go ahead and have this building block called project assets into the document, and you can add in all these files. Or if the file is not there, you can mention this file is about attendance, this is about parent details, and then you can see how far you have go ahead and completed this document. If approved is not what suits you, you can always go ahead and add your own words, and you can also remove them from this list, and you can also put in new ones, and it gets reflected in this list. So you can follow up, or you can actually manage these assets from this building block. Now the last one is launch content tracker. So let's try that also. See here, it is like a lot of we want to track similar to the other elements. We want to track the files or some activities that are going on, and you can also put in the type of event and the description and the publishing date. These all can be edited also. If the publishing is not what you are looking at, the word is not publishing, you can always change it. And if this was already published or not, you can always select it from here. Again, you have option to add more options into it, and where you can also say where it is kept, or is it uploaded to some drive or something, or the outlet or whatever that fits here. And then you can also refer to the file here. So the file reference get added. So these are some of the building blocks that are there with us. And the most amazing part is like now we can add our own building blocks. So let's say we have a lesson plan, a standardized lesson plan in our institution, and we want every teacher to use the same lesson plan. So what we can do is lesson plan for primary. Let's make it, or let's say secondary. Okay, and we have a lot of fields into it. I just made a very simple model. Now I can just select the whole thing, and I can say insert building blocks, custom building block, and new custom building block, and then I can save it. Now I can name it as lesson plan for secondary grades. You can also put a description if you like. Okay, and you can create it. Okay, so that's done. Now whenever I want to refer it, like I am creating a new document, and I want to make a lesson plan here. What I have to do is just type @ and lesson plan. See, I have two lesson plans right now. So I can select the secondary grades lesson plan, and what I have just made is now appearing here. Okay, I can also put smart chips inside when I am building it, so that those smart chips will be available in this document also. And one more fact is like if you go to the docs folder, you can see that the component that you just added, the secondary lesson plan, has become a file and is now available in your Google Drive as a separate file. And you can share it with your colleagues or collaborators, so that they can also make this as a component, and they can directly use it wherever they want. And everyone will be having a uniform method for creating lesson plans in this instance. So these are some of the wonderful things that Google Docs has brought into us. And now I think it's time for quick questions.
Yes, I think so. So thank you for this wonderful presentation, Afzal sir.